A Saturday in Newark from CheapGuardingLlama.com. Welcome everyone, I'm your host, Scott Allen Miller, and this is a very special occasion. We're actually doing our very first formal video blog project. I don't really have a good term for this yet, but we're taking a video tour of Newark. This is about a 15-minute tour, which is right what we were shooting for. We took about an hour of video and edited it down to a quarter of an hour, and we're kind of mixing the traditional SGL podcast format with video, and I'm very excited to be doing this. This is my first real video project. Everything we've done so far is just we record it with a video camera, we edit it, just chop off the beginning and the end, and whatever's in the middle is what you get, and normally just a couple minutes long. But this one is actually edited, and we actually went out and did it as a project, Dominica and I, driving around the wonderful city of Newark where we live, and put this together for you. So we are coming down Raymond Boulevard. So far, everything you've seen is Raymond Boulevard, coming from the west of town, heading towards the east, and the tall building directly in front of you is the new residential building in downtown Newark, 1180 Raymond Boulevard, where we live. There it is, you can see it. On the right, you can just barely make out the National Newark building, also known as 744 Broad Street. We're past it now, which is the tallest building in town. 1180 is the second tallest building in the city, and a beautiful Gothic structure built in 1929 to 1930, completed in 1930. Just wonderful brass work and architecture and everything. Here we see the New Jersey Performing Arts Center right across Military Park from 1180 Raymond Boulevard. This is the new cornerstone of the revitalization of the downtown Newark area. This structure is gigantic, brand new, multifunction, absolutely beautiful. Prudential Hall inside NJPAC is one of the best music venues anywhere. There you can see the entrance to Prudential Hall. Here we are coming back past NJPAC. NJPAC sits directly on the north side of Military Park. 1180 sits directly on the south side. Military Park is one of the larger parks in the city, and is the center point for a lot of downtown revitalization that's going on right now. So this is a really neat area of the city. Lots going on, lots of new stuff, lots of old buildings being worked on, which is really, really nice. You can see a lot of exciting things happening in the city. This is the Newark Center. This is the home of Seton Hall Law School, as well as the Newark Club, one of the most exclusive ballroom facilities in the city. We're back here on the north side of Military Park on Broad Street, heading north. There are a lot of beautiful churches, a lot of really, really old architecture in town. Newark is one of the oldest cities in the United States, and there's a lot of architecture that really shows its heritage to an old New Netherlands it was in the New Netherlands, but it was a Puritan city in the New Netherlands. This is one of the new trolley stations, also known as the New Jersey Transit's Newark Light Rail. The NLR system runs through downtown and is doing a lot to improve the city. It's providing a lot more light and safe transportation through the downtown areas. It's a clean zone against the highway. It keeps traffic from interfering with pedestrian traffic on the side of the road. It doesn't cover too big of an area, but it's a really nice way to get around the city. We're going to take a tour with that. We're actually going to ride the trolley a little bit later in the show, so we're excited to show that to you. But it's definitely a really cool revitalization project. This is the Basilica, located a little bit to the northwest of downtown. But this is a beautiful, beautiful church. We actually first discovered this church on accident. We were driving around the city. We weren't aware that the Basilica was in Newark, and we were kind of exploring the city a little bit and could see it rising above the trees, and decided to come explore it. When we came to do this video, this is actually our second time coming to see the structure, but we've never taken a tour of it yet, so maybe someday we'll get to do that. But the architecture is great. The location is really beautiful. And it's really nice that a structure like this can be in the city. The basilica is actually located at the northwesternmost point of the Newark subway system. Now, this is separate from the trolley/light rail system. There's actually an underground subway that runs from Newark's Penn Station in the southeast up to this basilica in the northwest. Here we are. This is not the first of the trolley stops. Here you can see the trolley coming into it, but this is the NJPAC station, which is the first stop away from Penn Station. So the trolley comes in here at NJPAC, which is just off to the left a little bit. This is you can see downtown there a little bit to the left. The McCarter Highway here on the right. The Passaic River is just beyond that. We're facing northwest right now. And the trolley will leave here and go down to Penn Station. It does a turnaround there and then returns. It's a pretty short loop. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes, I believe, for the trolley to do the entire loop both directions. So it's pretty quick. It's very short, but it's a really high traffic part of the city, so it really does quite a bit to ease traffic burdens and increase safety in the downtown area. So here's the trolley coming back from Penn Station. You can see the Newark Center there in the background. There's NJPAC. As visible from NJPAC Station, you can still see bits of the station going by. You can see the northern bits of downtown. I have to apologize for the video quality. It's very difficult filming from a moving vehicle and through dirty windows, but I think the picture turned out about as well as one could expect given the situation. It gives you a nice idea of where the trolley goes, and it's a very comfortable ride. It's a single car system, but it's one big car that pivots in the middle. It's very clean, very comfortable. Getting on and off is very, very easy. There were hardly anybody on it on the Saturday that we decided to ride it. You can see the tracks from the other side of the loop diverge at this point and go off. So there's a lot of the way, about half the distance of the trolley, the tracks are together no matter what direction you're going. And then about half of it, they're a couple blocks apart from each other. So at some points, there's one or two stations where when you pick up the trolley, it only goes either north or south, and you have to ride it all the way around if you want to get to the opposite one, which you wouldn't because they're so close enough that you would walk. We've already come to the very northern end, the Broad Street Station. You can just make out the sign there. And Westinghouse. This is the old Westinghouse factory in downtown Newark. This is a big piece of American heritage right here, which is kind of funny to say because Westinghouse is now primarily financed by the British government. But here's a map of the blue line you can see is the subway, and the smaller kind of orangey line is the light rail. And you can see how there's a single track that then diverges in some of the northern around Atlantic and Washington Park, then comes together when it goes to Broad Street Station. So right now we're at Broad Street, and we rode it from the NJPAC Center Street. And we're going to take it back past Washington Park. Here's the stop guide, if you will. And you can see that if you ride it to Penn Station, you can transfer directly. Obviously, all the different trains, all the different rail and bus systems in Newark converge at Penn Station. So no matter what you want to do, you can just go to Penn Station on anything and transfer to anything else. The city's not so big that it doesn't cause any problems. quick transition there to get to the the other side of the train. You can see Dominica sitting there in the seat just as we swipe the camera by. This is the north side of Washington Park. You can see some beautiful old architecture there. And here's Washington Park itself, which has its own light rail station that we're pulling into right now. This is the one we saw earlier from the car. Lots of statues in this town, busts and statues. Military Park and Washington Park make up the two parks of downtown, of the heart of the city. Pretty much all business is centered around these two parks, and they almost touch each other on a sharp corner. You can see NJPAC again. You can see 1180 in the background, and the National Newark building with the flag flying. The tall building just to the left of 1180 is PSE&G, headquarters for the big power company here in New Jersey. Pulling back into the station, this is the station that we started at, the NJPAC station. From the station, there's this really nice walkway leading up to the new Performing Arts Center. We had really hoped that we were going to be able to give you a bit of a tour of the Ironbound, which is one of the most spectacular parts of the city, but unfortunately traffic was so bad on this day we couldn't get our car through that part of the city, and so we had to give up on that. So hopefully another time we'll be able to bring you a more professionally produced video with a tour of the Ironbound. This was kind of an experiment more than anything else, so I hope you bear with us, and I hope you enjoy the little tour we have here. We're going to take you up to NJPAC. With some severe camera shake, unfortunately. The Robert Treat Hotel is often stated to be the finest hotel in the city of Newark. There's 1180 and PSE&G again. These buildings on your right, starting with 1180 and going up to the Robert Treat, are lined up against the east side of Military Park. This is the cafe at the Performing Arts Center. This cafe is actually located in Military Park, right next to NJPAC. That's Dominica going in. We actually went and got lunch at this time. Our parking garage for our building is actually underneath Military Park, and that is one of the entrances for it. This is Military Park itself, with 1180 there on the left and the National Newark building, and Prudential. Newark is, of course, the home of Prudential Insurance. As you can see, this is a much larger park than Washington Park. Oreo loves to go for walks here in Military Park. It's a great place because there's enough room that he can run, and we can take him on a big loop of the park. And of course, the Norcrown Bank building on the left. This has been a production of SGL Media. Thank you for joining us.